So co-main event, Julianna Peña taking on Kayla Harrison. Come on, come on, come on, come on. There it is. Hey! Easy money. If I was Kayla Harrison, I would retire from the sport. Don't fight Amanda Nunes. Amanda is going to... We'll talk about that in the breakdown.
One more thing for you. Kayla Harrison versus Amanda. Who do you think wins?
I think Kayla does. Just, she's just... she's the woman to contend with right now, and Amanda's been off too long. And I know Amanda's like, I'm better now than I was, and I'm just like, bullshit, That's not that. Just and that's, respect, but that's just how I think of it. You can't be out for that long, and she's not training every day. She looks happy, which is great. She's got 2 beautiful daughters, a beautiful wife. Life is good. She's sleeping on silk sheets, silk pillows. It's like, why is she? You can't tell me she's waking up and training every day, twice a day for the past couple of years. She's been enjoying her life. She's been taking her kids to Disney World and shit. I was like, good for you. I'm happy for her, but she hasn't been putting in the same work that Kayla has, and Kayla's on it right now. She's on her game. So yes, I say Kayla.
Demetrius Johnson and Miesha Tate have found himself in hot water after issuing a stark warning to newly crowned bantamweight champion Kayla Harrison about her potential super fight with Amanda Nunes. But it's not just any criticism. It's coming from Jorge Masvidal, who fired back with some explosive comments that have set the MMA community ablaze. Let's break down this developing story.
Kayla Harrison versus Amanda Nunes. Kayla Harrison is the current UFC bantamweight champion of the world. Amanda Nunes is the former 2-division champion, double champion of the Ultimate Fighting Championship. Kayla Harrison at UFC 316 proved that she was dominant. She was great. And she took the title from Julianna Peña, taking her down in the first round, taking her down in the second round, and submitting her by Kimura in the second round. Her hand was raised. It's 3 wins in a row in the Ultimate Fighting Championship, beating...
You fought absolute killers like Ronda, Nunes, Out of all these killers you fought, who do you think was like the hardest hitting fighter you went against?
Oh, it's Amanda for sure. She hits like a man. The Amanda.
What? I'm not touching that one.
That's crazy.
I mean that with all respect. She's got the power of a man.
She's
she
that
really
strong,
does.
huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah, she's very strong. She hits hard.
Let's start from the beginning. At UFC 316, Kayla Harrison made history by becoming the first woman to win both an Olympic gold medal and a UFC championship. She dominated Julianna Peña with a second-round Kimura submission, claiming the bantamweight title in spectacular fashion. Immediately after her victory, Amanda Nunes, the woman many consider the greatest female fighter of all time, entered the octagon for a face-off, setting up what could be the biggest women's super fight in UFC history.
And it was an incredible fight, and look at Amanda Nunes. And you think Amanda Nunes isn't going to be a star after this? I fucking guarantee it. I promise you that. Place went crazy for her. And I don't know what's next. Tuesday, we'll be back in the office, and we'll have a meeting and we'll figure out.
But not everyone thinks this is a good idea. Enter Demetrius Johnson, one of the most respected voices in MMA and former UFC flyweight champion. On his YouTube channel, Johnson delivered a blunt assessment that has everyone talking. Kayla Harrison is calling out Amanda Nunes. I think that's a very, very bad idea. Yes, Kayla is a world champion, but when you look at the roster of what Amanda Nunes fought and what Kayla Harrison fought, there's no comparison.
Now, here's a flip thing. Kayla Harrison is calling out Amanda Nunes. I think that's a very, very bad idea. Reason why is because, yes, Kayla Harrison is a world champion. But when you look at the roster of what Amanda Nunes fought and what Kayla Harrison fight, there is no fucking comparison. There's not one.
Johnson didn't hold back, listing Nunes' legendary opponents, Ronda Rousey, Miesha Tate, Valentina Shevchenko, Kat Zingano, and arguing that Nunes' level of competition far exceeds anything Harrison has faced in her career. Now, you might expect some pushback from Harrison's camp, but the response came from an unexpected source. Jorge Masvidal, the former BMF champion and close teammate of Harrison, didn't just disagree with Johnson's assessment, he went nuclear. In an Instagram comment that's now viral, Masvidal hit back with, he's mad because Kayla would whoop his ass too.
There's no way I know what to be here one day. I just worked hard, put everything that I have, my sweat, my blood, everything, you know what I mean? The discipline and everything was just one more thing that I, have in my resume. and to consolidate my whole career. And I'm here tonight. I'm so excited about it.
This isn't just trash talk. This reveals a deeper tension between these two fighters that goes back years. Remember, Johnson was traded to one championship for Ben Askren in 2018. That trade indirectly led to Masvidal's breakout moment when he knocked out Askren with that historic flying knee in just 5 seconds at UFC 239. Johnson has actually credited himself with helping create Masvidal's career resurgence, saying in a previous interview, "I think everybody won. When I say that we all won, we're all eating well now." He argued that his departure opened opportunities for fighters like Masvidal to make names for themselves.
Vienna and Julianna Peña, and after that, Amanda Nunes walked into the cage. It's been 2 years since we've seen Amanda Nunes active in the octagon. She came back, she walked into the cage, and she challenged Kayla Harrison for the title. Amanda Nunes wants what's hers. She wants that UFC bantamweight title. She wants it back. Nunes, right now, is 37 years old, 2 years younger than Kayla Harrison, the Olympic judo two-time gold medalist, had an incredible career in mixed martial arts, winning 15 in a row in the PFL.
But clearly, Masvidal doesn't see it that way, and this latest exchange suggests there's some real bad blood brewing between these two legends. Let's talk about the fight everyone wants to see. Amanda Nunes shocked the MMA world by coming out of retirement specifically for this Harrison matchup. According to her coach Din Thomas, they're targeting December for this super fight. "We are in the lab cooking now," Thomas told UFC Unfiltered. She's hoping for December. She was like, "I'm going crazy. I gotta find something to do."
Yeah, I hope he's here for sure. I'm going to talk to Dan and to Hunter to see. You know what I mean? I'm ready to go. I'm healthy. I'm training. So, ready to go.
What makes this fight even more intriguing is the history between these two. Harrison and Nunes were teammates at American Top Team for years until Nunes left the gym in 2022, reportedly because of tensions with Harrison. They know each other's games intimately. But here's where it gets interesting. Both fighters are struggling with the bantamweight weight cut. Harrison revealed she went through a brutal 15-week cut that nearly broke her mentally. She admitted, "I wanted to quit. I didn't want to be there anymore."
How tired of you are the questions about your weight? Like, how tired of you? Scale of 1 to 10, how tired of you?
I'm at about a 7. I mean, listen, I get it. Because to be honest with everyone, I really didn't know if I could make weight or not. Like, I believed, I had hope, and like, I just really felt called, like this was where I'm supposed to be. But I haven't weighed 135 pounds since I was 16 years old. So it's fair play that everyone was concerned.
Former UFC fighter Brendan Schaub has suggested they should fight at featherweight instead, saying, "Why force them to cut to 135? Why not do it at 145 so they don't have to kill themselves and you get a watered-down product?" This controversy highlights a bigger question in MMA. Should veterans be warning rising stars about dangerous fights, or is it their place to stay quiet?
Kayla Harrison signing with the UFC, fighting on UFC 300 against Holly Holm. So you guys know how big of Ronda was? Ronda was a bronze medal winner. She's a 2-time Olympic gold medalist. Then comes over, 6 years ago into MMA. She's the face of PFL for how long? This is why this fight's interesting to me. She had an interview probably 6 years ago with Ariel, and he goes, what about 135? She goes, you would have to cut off both my legs for me to make 135. Years ago, we had Kayla Harrison on Food Truck Diaries. She's a mini Brock Lesnar. She's jacked, dude. The cut for Kayla Harrison is going to destroy her. Is she going to do it? Absolutely. The level that Holly Holm has been competing at is so much higher than any other opponent she's ever fought. And she's going to be depleted at 135. Holly Holm is a world-class striker. I think it's by far her toughest competition. So there's so many storylines in this fight, which is why I love it.
Johnson's warning comes from experience. He dominated the flyweight division for years and understands what it takes to beat elite competition. His concern seems genuine. He even suggested Harrison should retire rather than face Nunes. But Masvidal's response suggests some fighters see this as disrespectful to Harrison's accomplishments. After all, she's an Olympic champion who just dominated a former 2-time UFC champion.
In the blue corner, fighting out of Marituba, Brazil, here is Larissa Pacheco. In the red corner, fighting out of Middletown, Ohio, here is a 2-time PFL world champion, Kayla Harrison.
Adding another layer to this story, Larissa Pacheco, the only woman to ever defeat Harrison in MMA, has offered to help train Nunes for the fight. It's Brazilian solidarity meeting tactical advantage. So where do we go from here? Harrison is back in training and has made it clear, I'm ready to whoop Amanda's ass. I'm going to break her.
Kayla, if you win this fight, there's talk you could face... When you win this fight, there's talk you could face Amanda Nunes. How do you feel about potentially fighting someone you used to train with?
Yeah, my focus is on Saturday night, one step at a time. Everybody's tough until you beat them, so I'm focused on Julianna. But in judo, it's very different culture and mentality. Like you end up competing against the same girls over and over and over and over again, and you go to a tournament, and then you have a 3-day training camp with all of the girls you just competed with, and then you go to another tournament and you have a training camp. So I used to fight my friends or compete against my friends all the time, and it's not personal, it's just business.
She, in my opinion, is the new face of the PFL. She was the big winner on Friday in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. She is the 125-pound women's tournament winner. She is a $1 million winner. She won the PFL Europe tournament, and now the big shebang, if you will. She is the pride of Manchester and Bulgaria. She is the one and only Dakota Dicha.
I'm happy to be back. I'm excited to get in the cage now and showcase my skills again.
We have a warning for the UFC brass today. When legendary MMA journalist Ariel Helwani and former lightweight champion Khabib Nurmagomedov start talking about the same fighter, you better listen up. The message is crystal clear. The UFC is sleeping on what might be the most dominant female fighter on the planet right now. We're talking about Dakota Dicha, the undefeated PFL champion who just sent shockwaves through the MMA world with her devastating knockout of former UFC contender Taila Santos.
That was digging deep for sure. Santos is in big trouble. She's in big trouble. Dakota Dicha to the body again for the championship. Not sure what that's all about.
Today, we're breaking down why the entire MMA community is going absolutely crazy on social media, demanding the UFC make a move for this 26-year-old destroyer from Manchester. Stay tuned because this story is heating up fast. Let's start with what has everyone talking. At the PFL Championship in Saudi Arabia, Dakota, Dangerous Dicha, did what she does best. She dominated from start to finish.
Come on in.
Down the fence.
Oh, we're ready.
So long and rangy.
Oh, put away.
In the co-main event, Dicha faced Taila Santos, a fighter who many believe deserved to beat Valentina Shevchenko for the UFC flyweight title. Santos was considered the toughest test of Dicha's career. The result? A brutal second-round body shot knockout that left Santos crumbling in the middle of the cage. As Ariel Helwani put it, woo Dakota Dicha second-round TKO, clinical, impressive. Again, she wins the million and the tournament. Face of PFL. A few months later, she did a vlog shopping for the best deal on car insurance because funds were tight. What a story.
Said, I've got PFL here. It's the show that Brendan's on. So it was because Brendan had signed with them out of the UFC that I kind of knew what it was. And they were like, oh, they're launching in Europe. They're going to do like a $100,000 tournament. So they'd love to, get you involved. And that's kind of how it started for me. But I think I wouldn't have known.
Think about that for a second. Just months ago, she was worried about car insurance payments. Now she's walking away with $1 million check and being called the best women's fighter on the planet. That's the kind of meteoric rise that creates superstars. Dicha is now 14-0 as a professional, with an absolutely ridiculous 92% knockout rate. 12 knockouts, 1 submission, and only 1 decision. Those are video game numbers, folks. But here's what separates Dicha from other prospects. Her mindset is pure championship material, and it's exactly what caught Khabib Nurmagomedov's attention. In a recent interview with Uncrowned, Dicha revealed her ambitious plan. She's not just thinking about staying undefeated, she's targeting Khabib-level legendary status.
But last time out, we saw the grappling skills as well. Will we see more of that tomorrow night?
Yeah, if that's where she wants to go, I'll take it to the floor. I mean, I can fight anywhere, so I'm happy to do whatever.
You've done your camp for this fight at American Top Team. Obviously, probably the best gym in the world, a room full of killers there. What has that added to your game?
Yeah, I've done a full camp at Top Team this time. So, I mean, I've just had the experience of training with a lot of girls, you know, and a lot of heavier girls, highly experienced and, you know, top level. So, and, you know, I'm holding my own. So there's not really much people can offer me now these days. You know, I'll be in there for a tough fight, but she didn't sound too convinced herself, did she?
You got a huge fight tomorrow night, but as we all know, you're a huge City fan. They're playing tomorrow night, just before your fight. Are you watching, or are you going to be focused on the fight fully?
No, I'm definitely going to watch City if I get time, 100%. You know, they're just as important as my fight. But I mean, I always say this, I don't get paid like they.
Listen to this quote. People always say there'll always be someone there who can beat you, but who says? Why do people say that? Why accept you're going to get beat at one point? That's not the mentality you should have, she continued. I think about staying undefeated and going to 15-0, 30-0, 60-0. I'm not thinking about one loss on my record. Hell no, it's not going to happen for me.
Now, Dakota, you always come off as being so sweet, so kind, so bubbly. But you are just such a subtle, great little trash talker, especially with the hand gestures. I noticed you hushing Jenna's corner because there's been a lot of talk this week between the two of you. Did it feel good to kind of, not shut her up, but get the redemption that you wanted after all the back and forth?
Yeah, definitely. I think shut them all up. I feel like I've took a lot of stick from like all the girls this tournament, which comes with the fight game, and I never moan. You know, I just let them write what they want to write, tag me in it, all sorts of stuff, and I just let my fighting do the talking, and then I get my little say at the end. So yeah, it's satisfying to get another stoppage, you know. And even like the other girls in the tournament, like Talia Santos, she fought Jenna, she didn't stop her, she got a split decision. So I'm shutting them all up by proving them wrong and getting the first round stoppages again.
That's the exact mentality that made Khabib a legend. The refusal to accept defeat as inevitable, the belief that perfection is achievable. And just like Khabib dominated his division with grappling, Dicheva is doing it with striking, but she's also shown massive improvements in her ground game. The American Top Team product is becoming more complete with every fight, and that combination of elite striking with improving grappling is terrifying for any potential opponent. The MMA community has completely lost its mind over this performance, and the message to the UFC is unanimous. Sign this woman now. Let me read you some of these reactions that are blowing up Twitter and Instagram, bro, hypothetically. If Dakota Dicheva got a title shot in her UFC debut against Valentina, I genuinely think she would demolish her. She's so well-rounded, but her striking is otherworldly. Shawty has John Jones-esque technique, and it's fire to watch. Dakota Dicheva is UFC ready. She beats your favorite UFC W flyweight. The UFC needs to grab Dakota Dicheva. Dicheva might be the best women's fighter on the planet. But here's the tweet that really caught fire. UFC needs to make a trade with PFL for Dakota Dicheva. Fans are literally demanding the UFC make a business deal to get her. When was the last time you saw this level of grassroots demand for a fighter who's never stepped foot in the octagon?
It's been viral on the internet for a reason, and in her last fight, fighting Talia Santos, TKO in the second round. She usually beats him in one. 12 knockout TKOs in her career, 1 submission. She can take her opponent down. She's a Muay Thai kickboxing stylist, and the power that she has is to behold. It's unbelievable. And I know that word is heavily used, but Dakota Dicheva deserves that. She is unbelievable. And that's why this would be greatest fight right now in the
flyweight division has been dominated by Valentina Shevchenko for years, but fans genuinely believe Dicheva could walk in and change everything immediately. Now here's where it gets interesting. The UFC has a real problem on their hands. Dakota Dicheva is scheduled to fight Sumiko Inaba at PFL Cape Town on July 19th, 2025. That's her first fight of the year, and she's been vocal about her frustration with the long layoff. The PFL knows they have a superstar on their hands. They've invested heavily in building their promotion, and Dicheva is becoming the face of their brand. But the longer they keep her from the biggest stage in MMA, the more pressure builds.
Here we go! Right on the money, baby! What a kiss!
From a business perspective, the UFC flyweight division desperately needs fresh blood. Valentina Shevchenko has cleared out most of the division, and casual fans are losing interest. Dicheva represents exactly what the division needs: youth. Youth, excitement, and devastating finishing ability. The question isn't whether Dicheva belongs in the UFC, it's whether the UFC can afford not to have her. With her perfect record, million-dollar star power, and the kind of highlight reel finishes that go viral, she's exactly what the promotion needs to revitalize women's flyweight.
Shevchenko would be 3 inches shorter. She'd be taking on a woman with insane power that could really hurt her if she gets the right strike up. Valentina is a master of sport in multiple striking disciplines, including boxing, kickboxing, taekwondo, judo. Valentina is the best. This would be the best opponent for her. This would be the best matchup for...
What do you think? Should the UFC break the bank to sign Dakota Dicheva? Can she really beat Valentina Shevchenko on debut? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more MMA breaking news, and hit that notification bell so you never miss when we drop the latest updates on the hottest stories in combat sports. And we'll see you next time on MMA Central.
Breach. She has. The long-range weapon that we've got to watch out for Collins is that rear stabbing front kick. We saw her use it against Sinead Kavanagh. Really good, jamming it into the mid-set.
Put her to Collins for causing massive trouble.
Here's the exchange where she gets caught. Beautiful right hook, cracked her on the chin.
It was that right hand that got through earlier, and then it really landed. Just watch it again. And she fell face first.
Come on in.
Down the fence.
Oh, we're ready.
So long and rangy.
Put away.
Two undefeated queens, two different paths to dominance. One burning question: is Sarah Collins the fighter who could actually challenge Dakota Dicheva's reign? Today, we're breaking down the ultimate matchup that MMA fans are dying to see. On one side, we have Dakota Dicheva, the 26-year-old British phenom who just became PFL's youngest champion and the first British female MMA world champion, walking away with that cool $1 million prize.
And a lot of people don't understand with a judoka that has the skill level of Sarah Collins. When you get into this Kazakatami, they're so good at controlling this position. A lot of people think, oh, I can just take my leg and flip it and take the back. It's not that easy. Now with the arm in this position, Sam Sorensen's in real trouble.
And putting the squeeze, raining down punches and strategizing as well, John. Collins trying to finish.
Now she switched it.
She does. Sarah Collins in her Bellator MMA debut records the first round submission win. The 32-year-old is a perfect 4-0 with 2 submission victories.
On the other side, we have Sarah Collins, the 34-year-old Australian judoka turned striker who just shocked the world by submitting Leah McCourt to become Bellator's #1 contender. But here's the real question everyone's asking. Could Sarah Collins be the one to finally test Dakota's dominance? Let's dive deep into the tale of the tape. First, let's talk about the woman everyone's calling the future of women's MMA, Dakota Dicheva. The record Dakota's sitting pretty at 13-0, with 12 of those wins coming by way of knockout or TKO. That's a 92% finish rate. But here's what makes her special. She's not just winning, she's demolishing opponents.
Beautiful from Dakota. Beautiful. It's going to be unbelievable.
Dakota's style is pure violence wrapped in technical precision. Coming from a Muay Thai background, she was a world champion before transitioning to MMA. Her striking is absolutely lethal. Her signature? Body shots that drop fighters like they've been hit by a truck.
Dicheva. Wow, great head kick. Very well placed. Now listen, Dicheva did a great job to still stay in that fight after that, because that landed. Absolutely. So, absolutely.
She's never won a belt, as she said. Like, she's not a complete fighter, is she? I'm not a complete fighter. She definitely isn't either, so. But whatever.
Just look at her recent performances. She finished Taila Santos, a former UFC title challenger, with body punches in the second round. Santos had never been finished before. That's the Dakota difference. At just 26, she's already broken multiple records. Youngest PFL champion in history, first British woman to win an MMA world title, and she's doing it all with Manchester City goal celebrations that have become her trademark. The confidence, the skill, the marketability. Dakota has it all. Now let's talk about the woman who might be flying under the radar, Sarah Collins.
Breach. She has. The long-range weapon that we've got to watch out for Collins is that rear stabbing front kick. We saw her use it against Sinead Kavanagh. Really good, jamming it into the midsection.
Oh! Right there for Collins, but caught in massive trouble.
Here's the exchange where she gets caught. Beautiful right hook, cracked her on the chin.
It was that right hand that got through earlier, and then it really landed. Just watch it again. And she fell face first.
Sarah's perfect at 6-0, but here's where it gets interesting. She's not just winning, she's evolving before our eyes. 3 of her 6 wins have come by submission, showing a completely different skill set from Dakota. Sarah's story is fascinating. 20 years as a judoka, representing Australia at World Championships, then a complete reinvention as a striker-grappler hybrid. What we saw against Leah McCourt was masterful. She dropped McCourt with a right hook, then seamlessly transitioned to a rear naked choke for the finish.
Really good, jamming it into the midsection.
Right hand for Collins, but caught in massive trouble.
This is over. She's pouring it on. Leah's trying to recover here. She's trying to turn, but she's getting hit with some big shots.
Inside the first minute and a half. Can McCourt get up?
This isn't your typical one-dimensional fighter. Sarah brings world-class judo. She's developed legitimate knockout power, and her fight IQ is off the charts. Here's what makes Sarah dangerous. She's 34, she knows her window is limited, and she's hungry. There's something about veteran fighters who find MMA later in life. They bring a different level of intensity, a different understanding of combat.
Me to never fuck nobody without telling me. Right back,
Dakota, 13 fights, all in MMA, dominated from day one. Sarah, 6 MMA fights, but 20 years of world-class martial arts experience. Edge, this is closer than you think. Dakota has more cage time, but Sarah's been competing at the highest levels for decades. Dakota, 92% finish rate, all striking. Sarah, 67% finish rate, multiple methods. Edge, Dakota for consistency, but Sarah's versatility could be the X factor. Dakota just beat Taila Santos, a former UFC title challenger. Sarah just submitted Leah McCourt, a longtime Bellator contender. Edge, slight edge to Dakota, but both are beating quality opposition. Dakota, 26, potentially years away from her prime. Sarah, 34, likely at her peak right now. This could be Sarah's biggest advantage. She's peaking at the perfect time. So could Sarah Collins beat Dakota Dicha? Here's my honest breakdown. Sarah's path to victory. Use her judo to get Dakota to the ground, avoid the knockout power, and submit her. If Sarah can weather the early storm and drag Dakota into deep waters, her experience advantage could shine through. Dakota's path to victory. Keep it standing, use her Muay Thai clinch game, and land those devastating body shots. The longer Sarah stands with Dakota, the higher the chance she gets dropped. The reality, this would be an absolute war. 2 undefeated fighters, 2 completely different styles, and everything on the line. Look, Dakota Dicha is the current queen of women's MMA, and rightfully so. But Sarah Collins represents something dangerous: experience, versatility, and the hunger of someone who knows their time is limited. Could Sarah be the one to hand Dakota her first loss? I honestly think she's got the best chance of anyone right now. The grappling could be the great equalizer. What do you think, fight fans? Is Sarah Collins a legitimate threat to Dakota's dominance, or is the Dakota hype train unstoppable? Drop your predictions in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button, subscribe for more fight analysis, and hit the notification bell because these two are on a collision course that...
Bro, she's a killer. She's a killer. She's the future of MMA, and I think that she's only getting better. She's young, she's hungry, she's disciplined, she's motivated. She's got a good head on her shoulders. She's got a great team around her. I think that the sky's the limit for her.
Come on in.
Down the fence.
We're ready.
So long and rangy.
Put away.
The UFC flyweight division might want to take notice because there's a storm brewing across organizations. After Kayla Harrison's bold proclamation that Dakota Dicha is a killer and the future of MMA, another veteran fighter has stepped forward with an even more direct warning about the British sensation.
Like, not in the UFC yet, but look at Dakota Dicha. She is a scary striker, and she's an amazing athlete, right? But her mom was Muay Thai world champion, so she came up in this sport and has been doing it her whole entire life.
Today, we're breaking down why Julianna Killer Miller's latest comments about Dakota Dicha have sent shockwaves through the MMA community, and whether this undefeated PFL champion could be the biggest problem the UFC women's flyweight division has never faced. Let's start with the bombshell that's got everyone talking. Julianna Killer Miller, the veteran fighter known for her no-nonsense approach, didn't mince words when asked about Dakota Dicha's striking prowess and perfect 15-0 record. Miller stated, and I quote, "Dakota isn't just another prospect. She's a legitimate threat to every girl in the UFC flyweight division. Her striking is surgical, her power is real, and that 15-0 record isn't padded with easy fights. The UFC girls better wake up because this British fighter is coming, and she's bringing problems they've never seen before."
Right on the money, baby. What?
Now, this isn't just random hype. Miller has been in there with elite competition throughout her career, so when she calls someone a legitimate threat, people listen. But what makes this warning even more significant is the timing.
Beautiful from Dakota. Beautiful. It's going to be unbelievable.
Just weeks after Kayla Harrison, now the UFC bantamweight champion, called Dicha a killer and the future of MMA, we're seeing more established fighters echoing these sentiments. Harrison knows elite talent when she sees it, having trained alongside Dicha at American Top Team.
Bro, she's a killer. She's a killer. She's the future of MMA, and I think that she's only getting better. She's young, she's hungry, she's disciplined, she's motivated. She's got a good head on her shoulders. She's got a great team around her. I think that the sky's the limit for her.
Let's talk numbers, because that 15-0 record isn't just impressive. It's downright terrifying for future opponents. Here's what makes Dakota Dicha so dangerous. She's finished 14 out of her 15 professional wins. That's a 93% finish rate that would make even the most elite UFC fighters jealous. Her most recent victory came against former UFC title challenger Taila Santos, and she didn't just beat Santos, she became the first person to ever finish her.
Me should never fuck nobody without telling me.
Right back home, big nasty.
But it's not just the numbers, it's how she's getting these finishes. Dicha has been dropping opponents with devastating body shots that leave them crumpled on the canvas. Her Muay Thai background, remember, she was a world champion before transitioning to MMA, gives her striking combinations that most fighters have never encountered.
Watch them, Vale, manca un minuto e mezzo. Un minuto e mezzo, vale. Attenta che non va a ginocchiare. Vale, ti devi muovere meglio. Ha detto che ti devi muovere. Fuck, Valentina, throw the shot. Capisci, vale, fai la matta.
You can't open that over. You got to pull and go to the back. You got to circle away and get the kick. You are a G. Time, ladies and gentlemen. Danger.
Look at that. Look at this. Look at this.
At just 26 years old, she captured the 2024 PFL Women's Flyweight Championship and that $1 million prize, becoming the youngest champion in PFL history. She's also the first British female MMA world champion, which tells you something about the level she's operating at.
Watch them, Vale, manca un minuto e mezzo.
The scary part? She's still improving. Every fight, we see new dimensions to her game. Started as a pure striker, now she's submitting people with rear naked chokes. That evolution should terrify anyone who might face her in the future. Now here's where things get interesting for UFC matchmakers and flyweight contenders. Miller's warning about Dicha being a problem for UFC girls isn't just trash talk. It's a realistic assessment of stylistic matchups. Look at the current UFC women's flyweight landscape. you've got champion Valentina Shevchenko, who's dominated through technical striking and fight IQ. You've got contenders like Manon Fiorot, who brings elite kickboxing credentials. On paper, these should be competitive fights with Dicheva.
You could fight any female right now. Who would you want to go with?
Valentina Shevchenko right now. I want to be at the top. You know, I'm still 26. She's been around for a long time.
Right now, I'm not too sure that Shevchenko is the best 125er there is. This girl's, man, she goes after people. She is nasty.
Valentina has to fight this one.
But here's the thing.